Good. We're going to go up, inhale, and 2. Good. We'll add legs, lift, and exhale, and up. Now, when you're up, have your hands interlace and make your fingers point. This is called yoga gun. Go over to the left, inhale, breathe into that side, and exhale, over to the other side. Good job. Inhale up, and you're just seeing, how is my body this morning? Oh, it feels tight, but that's why we're here. Up and go over. Good. Stretching out like taffy. And up. And just imagine you're pulling just like taffy. Up and over. Good. Perfect. We're going to take the hands down to those thighs. The feet can be a little wider than initially. Inhale up like a sassy cat and exhale, flex. And inhale up and exhale, flex. Round, extension, in, out. Oh, it feels good. This is how you're seeing what's going on with my back. We're going to drop a shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, drop. And exhale. And one more, right? And one more left. Hold, hold, hold. And then come back to a center position. Round all the way up. And then let's take your right foot over your left, arms out. Now we're going to exhale and rotate. Rotation with a tall, good. I'm glad you're warming up. We're going to go. You might even wrap your hands on your thighs. Just think of it as a little rotation for your spine. The first one of the morning. You're going to feel the tiniest little nuances. Now inhale, open. Other leg goes over. Inhale. On your exhale, add rotation. Your body's trying to stay tall, and then when your hands are ready, you just catch something, your hip, your leg, your waist, and you rotate. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Take a little breather. And then come back. Good. Or second rotation morning. We did one earlier. And inhale, lift, fingers interlace, go up and act like you're just trying to take a little back bend up and over a high fence. Chin can tuck. It's just your upper back we're concerned with. 4, 3, 2, and then open those shoulders like you're taking the biggest circle. You can see the circle behind me on my tapestry. Just act like you're trying to make a big circle, that big, around, over, like your arms are crossing each other, and then they go around. So one arm's in front. That should feel so good. And on one more, we're going to interlace our fingers at the low back. Go up with your arms. If your hands don't interlace, just do the best you can. Maybe you can hold your elbows together. Otherwise, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on the last one, your feet can separate about shoulder width and just give a little, loose leaves in the wind. Gosh, back, good. And it can hit you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Now let's get those calves. Now we're going to be in parallel. We can lift up both heels and the arms. Inhale, lift up both heels and the arms. So we'll do a little standing Pilates with some balance and then some stretching. And up. We always have our alignment. So when you lift your arms, you really want to be aware that your ribs are going to try to push forward. You're going to keep the ribs over the pelvis. So I'll show you from the side. Up and up. All right, let's take 3 more. 2 more. And inhale 1 more. Perfect. And then we'll go into a first position and let's take 10 here. Now you can make your arms more circular, like you're holding the earth. 1, 2, good. And lifting up. And 3, good. Working different fibers of those calves. 4, beautiful. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then come into a little bit of a wider chair squat. Heel heavy, sit back. Now your toes are so light you could lift them. Your knees track with your second toe. Your arms can come up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to go out. This is more like a big goddess or second position. You can add your arms up. Now what this does is also getting the shoulders a little bit. You're going to 90 degrees. Your knees track with your second toe. Good, Jean. About 90, but you're in control. If your knees don't like to go that low, you go somewhere where they can tolerate and get strong. 5. You may have to look down to check form. 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you'd like, hold this little bounce here. It's a controlled bounce. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. No tension. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Coming back up, toes in. Let's take a stretch here. Now, you could interlace your fingers or just hold on to your hips or the floor. Relax your neck. 10, 5, 3, 2. Inhale, hands can come back to your hips. Pause. Now let your blood pressure adjust. When you feel like you're okay, go into a back bend, elbows squeeze. 5, 2, and then 1. Bring those feet back in. You can step or jump like a cat, land like a cat. All right, from the side, open up, leg. Now this is balance. We are trying to keep that foot off the floor, and we're working in a plane that we don't normally walk in. So we're finding ways to challenge balance. 5, 6, good, in different planes. 7, 8, very good. 9, we're going to add a bonus pulse at the top. Balance. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel that. 4, 3, 2, come down gracefully. Make your transition part of your balance and control. Very good. Other side, palms. I'm facing the palms towards you. You can face the palms towards me. Now, a star. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We are going to do that hold. So when you go up, hold 10 little pulses. 9, 8, good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. We're going to change that plane. Toes are like a piece of pizza between them. Now take your right leg across your midline. Try not to touch the floor with that toe. 2, 3. Now if you need to touch, do, but 4, we're going to work on balance. 5, and it just, Jean, it's just a cross. It's not a circle, just a lift, just an inner thigh lift. 9, there you go. Try the other side. Now your leg's going to cross the midline And if it's too much, just take your hands by your hips. Inner thigh, good. 4, good. 5, there you go. 6, you're trying not to lean back. 7, 8, 9, 10. And now just pedal it out. You can pedal your arms and your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to make this more ankles. So take your first position and you can point flex on the floor. Draw a line. So I know it doesn't feel like a big leg exercise, but we're trying to articulate through the foot, point, flex. Get those little muscles that are so important for balance. You've seen people shuffle. You've seen how their ankles aren't really mobile or strong. So we're moving those ankles. Other side. Now I'm changing feet. Point, flex. Point, and I'm just leaving the foot on the floor. 3, draw a line. 4, the foot's on the floor. 5, the whole time. 6, good. 7, good. Try not to lean back. 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to take the leg up a little higher. It disengages from the floor this time. The leg comes off the floor. Point, flex. Point, flex. Point, flex. 4, down. Good. 5, try to stay pretty upright here. 6, this booty's working. 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, so it's going to be 10, 9. Keep going, just a little eye scratch. 3, 4, point and flex. 5, 6, work that ankle. 7, good. 8, 9. Last set, and then we'll take a stretch. Now this leg's going to go higher if you can. Don't hurt anything. Whoa, legs go out. Baltimore is a big kick. Arms can go a little wider. See how I'm tracing my circle? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now other side. So it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take that right foot over your left, take that arm overhead, and you can rotate if you'd like. Find a couple of angles that feel really good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Find a different angle. 5, 4, 3, 2, reach. 1, come up, other side, cross that foot, up and over, breathe, good. 5, 4, there you go, Karen. 3, 2, and add a little rotation. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. And then exhale. Perfect. Grab a sip if you need it. We're going to do balance to the rear. This actually gets the glutes a little bit more. Oh, that's so good. So balance to the rear. I'm turning sideways so you can see me. Lift up the leg and be in a diagonal to modify, or go all the way to parallel for harder. Tap your foot down and up, down and up. tap and up, tap and up. 5, 6, 7, neck is long. 8, 9, at the top, do 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lower down. Now the other side, your inhale, exhale, go over. Tap your, once you're balanced, tap your foot and lift it. 2, 3, reach your arms long. 4, so your neck doesn't have any tension. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at the top, take a little pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then come back up. Very good. We're going to be adding on to that. This is a circle. Now, for circles, you can hold a tree, or you can add arm circles. So get ready. I'm going to do both. You can lift up just to demonstrate and add a circle. There you go, Pam. I want you to do what you know you want to do. I'm just cueing and showing different ways. That's it. Good, Betty. Good. You could add scapular mobility in a pain-free range of motion. Notice how you can make it higher sometimes than you thought. Move those scapula. 8. Unstick them. It's like you're getting the sticky out. 9. Even if you have to fall a little bit. Karen, I always think of Catherine, how she would just try anything and fall over and it doesn't matter. So you just big circles. The floor is right there if you need it. Now, what's the other ankle doing? Can you feel how it's working and feel how this booty's working? Feel how your abs are adjusting. Breathe. Try bigger. Paying attention. You'll know, where am I needing more abs? Right there. 8, 9. And I'm moving that ankle too. I want to work it all if I can, and down. So take a little pedal. You can shake or pedal. Movement gets rid of that tension. You can shake it out literally. Now the other leg, you can hand hold your hips, hug a tree. Or I see everybody's doing the arm, so I'm just going to cue that. And up. Just know if you need to, you can hold onto your hips or hold a tree. 4. Good. Point that foot. 5. But then when you pass it under, you have to flex it a little, right? 6, 7, 8. So Karen, you text me about a little click. If my first rib's out, I click right there, like I need to go find a chiropractor. Now, will I forget after my work day? Heck yeah, because I only notice it when I'm in a range of motion. There's no pain, but I just abbreviate my range of motion until there's no click. Because mine doesn't manifest with pain, I'll promptly forget at the end of the day, go the other way. But if you have pain, of course, decrease your range of motion so there's no friction clicking. But that's happened to me a few times over the years, and I just get a rib adjusted and it doesn't click anymore. 3, 2, and my vulnerability is when it's back here, it'll click, but it doesn't happen every time. So just see, yeah, we can email later. Good job, that was wonderful. Now we're gonna change it up, go to your booty. Now your hands could be by your side on your hips. You're gonna lift up your right leg. Now a diagonal is a modification. A harder balance is to go up parallel. Now once you're parallel, draw a grapefruit in the air with your toes pointed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now go the other way, but pull your toes back. You see how we're trying to work in ankles? 7, 8. Pull the belly up. And then recover that leg. Take a moment. I'm going to do the second leg, but I'm going to face you so I can see you. So I'm going to be more diagonal. Lift up that leg, either diagonal or all the way parallel. Now, point the toes, draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, a grapefruit. Pull your toes back and 1. Good, Betty. Good, Jean. Inhale. Lower down. I noticed my leg would droop on my own. See what you notice. So we're going to do a hamstring curl. Other leg comes up parallel, if you can. The modification is diagonal. Bend that knee like you're pushing through peanut butter and straighten. Bend that top knee and straighten. 3, heel towards booty. 4, arms reach long. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come up. Other side. Foot down. Lift up. Now, once you're here, bend your knee and straighten it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale. On your exhale, come back down. Really good. Grab a step. We're going to do a squat plus a side leg abduction. Really good. And Jean, I like the way you had your hand near a wall if you needed it, but you don't have to use it. That makes you build confidence to do the moves, to try the moves. You're going to do a squat. It's called TikTok. You're going to do it. Inhale. Let's do a squat. Now, both legs have 50-50 weight. We're going to open up abduction. Very good. Inhale, 50-50. Now, one leg clearly has all the weight. Toes are forward in general. Now, if you're built a little bit externally rotated, maybe 5-10 degrees of external rotation here. But in general, when you lift that leg, toes forward, to really get more glute med, the muscle that tends to be weak. That vastus lateralis in athletic women is already usually pretty strong. We need abductors, this glute med. All right, 10. Now do you feel your heart rate coming up too? 9, and you're landing with control. 8, good, nice. 7, you expand that upper body, so make sure to stand up. You're not crouching when you open up that leg. Good, you're standing up. Let's do 4, 3, very good. 2, one more, 1. All right, now single calf raises. I am going to use a wall or a roller. Wrap your left foot around the other one. If this is too hard, do 2 foot. So it's going to be a lift and a lower, heel up and a lower, and use something to hold on to because we are really working on the calf strength here and not trying to balance. Lift up your heel, use something to hold on to. Good. 6, control it on the way down. 7, good. Let me get in closer. 8, good, Karen. Good. 9, good. Great. Now let's do the other side. You're going to use your foot, wrap it around the ankle, go up, 10 calves. 2, good. Nice long knee. I like it. 3, and good. Jean, have a terrific view of your foot. You're going up to all the toes, maybe even slightly bit more pressure in the second toe, but you're not letting that pinky wing your ankle out. Good, Betty. You look like you're controlled on the way up. And then see if you can do a second set to 10 on the other leg. Wrap and 10. And your hips are in. 9, 8. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try the other foot. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, Betty. 5. Good, Jean. 6. Now you don't have to sit down on these, Jean. You can stand tall. So I'll show you my booty from the side. I'm just upright. I'm not sitting. Good. And we're going to do a third set. If you don't want to do that, do a double calf raise. Otherwise, wrap the left foot around the right. Good. Third set. Yep. 5. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and try the other foot. Lift up, 10 here. Good. Karen, see if you can go straight up. Will that work? See if that changes anything. Go more up. Yeah. So the knee doesn't push forward. Yeah, just up. That's it. There is a little bit of a shift forward on the foot, of course, but you're going more up than you are forward. Yeah. 2. Now those legs, excuse me, those calves are probably like, oh, can we stretch? Let's do a right foot back, left foot forward. Now I've got about 90 degrees here. I'm pushing that right heel back, back, back. You can keep pushing that heel back. You can add on. All right, so do you feel, make sure you feel that back calf. Good. Holding, 10. Great. Now your back heel is down on the ground. 8, 7. This leg is also working. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. And then exhale, put that foot up and put that left foot back. Now, right knee, 90, heel, arms. Okay, you're leaning in about 90 degrees in the front knee. Your back heel is really pressing because if you don't pay attention, the heel will try to come off the ground. Act like you have peanut butter on that heel towards the floor. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take another inhale and an exhale, and then come back in. Now this is basically a seat. Now that's your posture. Basically you're checking your knees are in line with your hips. But if you'd like to, we're going to take a single squat. Basically, your right foot comes off the floor. You're going to try to go up and down. 10. If that's not working, do this with 2 feet. 2. Make sure that knee tracks. 3. I told you we'd work on single leg. 4. This is a good way to make sure. 5. Things are evening up. 6. Now hips are level. 7. Watch how that knee works. 8. You want to know your body. 9. 10 on the other leg, heel heavy, 1. Now you could be 2-footed if you need to. 2. I really want one leg to do its own squat if you can. 4, even if it's a very small range of motion. 5, 6, 7. So I just lost my balance, had to touch. 8, 9, good. 10. Now the left leg, both legs are down. Now the left leg takes your weight, and you can make it a single stretch as well as a single quad strengthener, a single squat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale and exhale up, foot down, ankle on, sitting down. Hands could be together, chin tuck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Terrific. Okay, grab a sip if you need it. I'm going to shift this down just a little. We're going to be taking a down dog. Great. So I'm going to grab a sip. We'll be starting in a down dog. Palms together. Great. Fingertips are at the heart, like a prayer. Feel the fingertips go down. Inhale, lift the arms up. Yeah, that's good, Pam. I'm sorry, I just got us there. We're going to meet you there. I said starting a down dog, and then I had to get us there. Heels could walk 1 and 1. Now, we did a really good calf stretch a moment ago, so you might be surprised. Oh, they don't feel as tight as I thought they would. Just enjoy. It's like a second layer of stretching. Press both heels towards the floor. Hands are strong, lifting up the sit bones. Neck is soft. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. Now exhale. You're in a plank. Pause, and you can either take an up dog or a sphinx. So if you're an up dog, your hands are going to be really strong. If you need to be sphinx, your elbows are on the floor and your pelvis is on the floor. Hold 10. Good. 9, 8. Good. 7. Push strong. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and push back, down dog. Heels are back. Calves are long. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to take our knees down, turn sideways, do a frog pose. I'm going to move the screen back in. You can put your knees out wide, or if you prefer to do bound angle, you're welcome to do bound angle, which is feet soles on the floor, booty on the floor. Please do what you need. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Jean. Good. All right. So you've got, yes, you've got this wonderful frog. Now, Jean, you're great. Just rest. I think you're good to go down all the way to the floor. Yep. Everybody looks so good. Just relaxing. Yep. 10. You're good. I'm just looking at you guys. Let your exhales relax your pelvic floor. Let your exhales relax your inner thighs. It's okay if you want to move a half an inch one way or the other. Sometimes you can feel a little different fiber stretch. You're also decompressing your low back because your hips are a little higher than your low back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I could probably stay there for 20 more minutes. Inhale and exhale, but I'm coming out. All right, come on now. And then let your knees be on the floor. Now, if you need more padding, you can. This is called the dragonfly. Fingers wrap. Now watch it just kind of lower. I'm walking out. Let me turn to the side so you can see. My booty's in the air and the arms keep walking out. I'm right in the middle. My head can turn to the hand that's on the top. Now that's called dragonfly. You should feel your shoulders stretch. Let me take a look. Good. Yep, good, Jean. Great. Great, Rusty. Great. Presses. 10. Take another inhale. Now as you exhale, come up, reconfigure your arms. Now the left arm's on front, the right arm's on the bottom. Keep walking out, walking out, walking out. Now your gaze will probably be at the left hand. Ten, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then gently come back up and sit your booty on the ground. Oh, and if you need to sit, please take one. We're going to take the rack posture. So we're still working on the shoulders. We're going to let the legs be free out in front of us. For me, it's okay to have them long. See if that's okay with you. The reason it works a little easier, so like Karen, you might even like legs out, is because you're getting ready to go into a lean. Lift up your other arm like you're trying to touch the sky, back, and your fingertips touch. Now, you can usually walk your hands a little closer together from the arm, not the wrist. Make sure you're not just pointing your fingers towards each other, but from the arm. Now, soften the elbows more than you think, because that was the most common correction. Lift up your heart, not by straightening your elbows backwards, but by lifting up with your extensors. Good. And if once you're there, go back to your elbows, see if they're soft. Lift up your heart. I'd rather them be a hair over bent than backwards bent. They should not hurt at all. Lift up your heart. It's an active extension in your spine, your shoulders, your chest. There's a little space of air underneath your palm because you're not just pushing your carpals into the floor. You're more using your back. I almost come forward. I'm so much using my back, my upper back. I'm going to take a look. Good. Yep. Barely bend the elbows, just barely bend them. Pam, I love the elbow bend. Good. 5. Very carefully, you can lean a little left, lean a little right, very carefully. Yeah, and if your shoulders are super tight, then this may not be a cue for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and then exhale. Good. Now I'm going to have us clasp hands, roll your wrist. You see how I'm rolling the carpals? Yeah. Now roll the carpals the other way. Good. Take the palms together and push down until they separate. You're going to feel your forearms. 5. Yep, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. And then just shake it out. We're going to turn to that downward dog again. Let your hands be wide like pieces of power between them. They should feel like they're a little bit more open. Press your hips back. Good. Put your left foot on your right heel and get that calf up in. Now that's also hamstrings. Lifting up your sit bones. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. Exhale, put that other foot down. Press that heel down and lift up your sit bones. Heel presses. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Both heels push. Now we're going to take a pigeon posture. You can take a figure 4 if you'd like. Right leg up and right leg forward. And hold on the up position. I'm going to turn to you for 10, 9, 8, good. 7, 6, and then you can go on down when you're ready. You can stretch through that back leg as well. Good, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now, while you're here, if you want to try something, yep, that's right, Pam. Bend that knee real sneaky. Maybe. You don't have to do this, but it is an incredible quad stretch. 10. If you're feeling really, really sassy, come on up, really spicy. Good. I like it, Karen. And you can always do cat-cows and round hips. So back always likes the attention. All right, guys, you can curl it under. Wide fingers. Other leg, inhale. And exhale. Now you're gonna let your hands help pull your spine up. Your back leg goes further back. 10. I like it. Good. Good, Jean. It looks beautiful. There's a light on you as you're doing that. 7, 6, 5. So sometimes I can put that leg further back behind me as it wakes up. So if you want to inchworm it back, you're not forcing anything. You're just allowing it. No pain here. I don't want any pain. All right. It looks beautiful. So think about lengthening like someone's pulling your crown as you go down. So you're not just kind of collapsing, you're lengthening. I like to put my hands here, but if your head doesn't reach, you can do your forearms, or you can stretch out your arms if you're feeling pretty flexible and you can drop lower. Explore and observe what you need today. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. If you want to try that knee bend, you can. If you want nothing to do with it, just relax. 10. You're welcome to come up. Explore anything you're doing. Good. That's it. You might come up. You might hold on to your fingers. You might do a cat-cow, or you might do hip circles. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take another inhale. And exhale, lower that down, curl your toes. Take a downward dog. Press your hips back. Right and left. If you want to pedal, both can go up, just shaking it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna take our body down, and on the floor, I want you to feel like your belly has a piece of ice under it. You've got a little pull up with your abs. Now your hands hover. We are going to press them into the floor, but your hand hover cue is so that your back knows we want it to be engaged. Okay. Hold cobra. Bhujangasana, 10. Now really feel it. Let your breath absorb the fact that you can be here, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, beautiful, 3, 2. I'm so glad that you do these frequently during the week. This is where most people get rounded. And then energy goes down, mood goes down, confidence goes down, depression comes. So we are doing such good things for the whole body just with those extensions. All right, now the next one could be just hands by your side. You could lift up your legs. You could interlace. Good, Karen, that looks like where you are. Yeah. Breathe. Relax. Do the other finger position. Inhale, lift. Lower. Possibly do your hands to your feet, bow, or do another of what we just did, Shalabhasana. Good. Good, Karen. Good. Relax. Do the other foot or do this one again. Come up. Relax. Child pose. And if you'd like to pull your toes under, you can. If you'd like to bend your elbows, you can. It's a bit tricep-y here. 5. All right, now we're going to let the twist happen this way. Do you remember how we did this? It's really neat. I like this one. So you take your right arm underneath the window of your left armpit. Now, as you roll over, your right hand is a paperweight. You can do some circles here if you'd like. And you can turn your gaze towards that left hand. I'm looking at you because I want to see your form. Feel that waist long. Feel that shoulder move. Karen, if you get clicky in one of those ranges, just decrease that range of motion. See how the exhale, let's go. Yeah. Five, 4, 3, 2. Now inhale and exhale. Come belly down. Now we're going to do the other side. You're going to put your arm underneath that window. You're going to take your right arm out. Now you could do some shoulder rolls. This hip is stacked. Let me pull up my britches. This hip is stacked. Like I am standing behind you with my shin. Now the arm could roll into circles. Eventually it'll find a good place. I'm looking right. You can look right too. Or if that doesn't feel good on your neck, you could look more towards the sky. But once you get your neck in a comfortable stretch or place, you can soften the eyes. And you might also find you do better with a pillow under your knee to support it if it's hanging off the floor, or a pillow under your arm. If your arm's hanging off the floor, you can also lower it towards your booty. That's less aggressive of a stretch. Your exhale relaxes tension. We're going to take another inhale. And we're going to exhale to come back. Great. Now, this is just to lubricate and circulate. So one hand on each knee. I know I went on my back, Pam, fooled you. Knee wide, circles. But you like this one. Keep going until you feel really, a good release, a good stretch. You usually can go wider than you think. Don't force it, but feel a little, it's good for the SI. All right. I'm going to have us I need a band. So grab a band if you need it. Or just to mix it up, I'll show you how you can use a Pilates ring. You can use a towel. You can do this in a chair. You can do it everywhere. Dr. Seuss. Okay, so leg up. Leg is pouring, leg is up. Now just relax. Belly of the muscle. Cross the midline. Taking it out. Bring it out. Other side. Relax the other leg down. Oh, fresh. Feel how that is. And then relax your gut. Relax your abs. Relax any muscles that tend to tighten in response. Shoulders. You're just using enough energy to hold on to your band or ring. Drop even more. Melted butter. Taking it across. Taking it. Finding different angles. Noticing the breath, getting a little fuller, getting a little easier. You can slowly bring it back when you're ready. And then just take a Shavasana. Arms rest by your side. While you're there, if you want to roll your ankles a few times just to get rid of any tension, roll your wrist. Just release any tension that might need it. Spread the toes. And then just kind of flop them to the ground. And you can imagine that you're on a beautiful beach, looking at palm trees, a beautiful blue ocean with white froth coming in and out. Seeing the birds, hearing the birds overhead, that it's a perfect day. White clouds. And the water's coming in, the water's going out. can see some turtles crawling on the sand, manatees near the surface of the water close by the beach shore. Just being in a state of serenity and calm. And your breath is like the tide of the ocean coming in and out, like the waves of the ocean. And imagine the ocean, just set your troubles and worries and problems on the water of the ocean and let it drift out to sea. Set that for a moment. You have nothing but a clear, serene sanctuary. You can feel sinking into the sand even more. It's almost like the sand hugs you back and cushions your bones, cushions your body. Just take a few moments more in that sense of peace and present-mindedness. Notice how you feel. Slowly begin to awaken the fingers and toes and come up towards a seated position, lifting up through your spine. And let your eyes soften. You can be at the beach still. Now you're facing the water, the beach shore. You see the water froth coming up and back, the little turtles walking on the sand. You can see the manatees going by so slowly. The palm trees are in the wind, blue skies, birds flying overhead, and just take in that sense of peace where all the animals are in the present moment, where everything is right, nothing to figure out from the past, nothing to figure out toward the future. Take a few more breaths here. You feel that sense of healing, that sense of clarity, giving yourself a chance to heal, recharge. Whenever you're ready, let your eyes open and come back into the room. Thank you so much. I hope you feel great. It was fun to see your flexibility and strength. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Jean. I'm proud of you guys.